Hello, my name is Rochelle Beckemeyer. I am the Executive Director of Safe and Sound Ministries. Safe and Sound Ministries was formed in 2019 with the intent to help people with disabilities to maximize their God-given gifts, their calling, and to recognize that they have a tremendous amount of value that God has placed into them. So in 2019, our church, Echo Christian Fellowship, recognized that many of our individuals with disabilities were high functioning and they didn't really need to be in 24-hour care facilities, but that is, they either would end up in one of those or they would end up on the street, or they would end up trying to be independent, but they would not be safe. So those that were in the homes never had any money, and those that were on the street might have money for a minute, but because it was unsafe, they generally wouldn't, they would also not have any funds, and they would be unsafe. And so we really wanted to try to help individuals to have both safe and affordable housing. And so that's how Safe and Sound Ministries really was born. In 2020, we opened our first home in Oxford. Pretty quickly, it's filled up. It's a home for 5 people, and it filled up pretty quickly. We charge $425, and it includes utilities, it includes the internet. They bring their own food, but if they don't have their SNAP benefits yet, we help them to get those benefits. So that $425 also includes some social work and advocacy with their agency, whatever agency they're working with. So we try to provide a family environment. The scripture tells us that God has places the lonely into families, and that's what is happening in our fellowships and our homes and in our church. Is definitely a family environment for people to find healing and wholeness. At the end of 2021, there was another individual that fell in love with what we were doing, and they donated the funds to purchase another house outright. So we bought a house in Pontiac, and that house houses 4 people. Every individual gets their own room. They get a lock for their door, which is tremendous. A lot of the homes that they were in previously, they wouldn't get a key to their own room, or they wouldn't even get a key to the house. They also can have a refrigerator in their room, and there are two full baths. These are all things that I think a lot of us take for granted, but these individuals have not had that. They haven't had access to that. And so you start to see them really come out of the survival mindset and into like, wow, this is how people live. This is how people can live. And so once they come out of that, then we can start looking at some other areas that we can help them advance in their calling and advance in their needs and their quality of life. There are other areas where people sometimes just need a little direction to be able to maximize their abilities, to find out what it is that they can do and what they would like to do. So one example is the SNAP benefits that I mentioned. They might not know what steps they need to do to get those benefits. So what we developed was something called our GOAL program. With the help of United Way, we got a grant that helped us to incentivize people finishing goals, setting goals and finishing goals. An example would be to make the phone calls needed to get their SNAP benefit. Another example would be one of our young men didn't have a driver's license and really wanted to get one, and so he got an incentive for setting up appointments to get his driver's training, to get to take his test, his learner's permit. He's got his learner's permit now, and he will eventually have his driver's license. These are things that are small amounts really financially, but they mean a lot to these individuals. They are just blown away that people would help them to do those things. And then they realize that, hey, wait a minute, I can do that for other people. And we've also found that when they meet their goals, able to catch up with their peers, to catch up with their family and friends around them that they've seen go through all these milestones, just what we think is just regular, normal adulting. This is all new to them, and it's something they didn't think they had access to before. So we're really happy to be able to help them accomplish that. So our latest program that we started in 2024 was the HeartWise Workshop. This is something that, once you get through the housing and your basic needs there and some of your basic goals set, we were wanting to try to help people find things that they can get engaged with, where they're making things or creating things, where they're caring for one another in a work environment. Some of them are able to get employment, but some of them aren't necessarily. And so we wanted to try to help them find a place to be able to work and to create products. And so the HeartWise Workshop was formed. We have a weekly workshop. Folks come and they make products out of donated materials. So we have popsicle sticks building up, and we use those to make bird feeders, and we use the egg cartons to make fire starters. And so we have a whole bunch of other products that we make too. Those are on our website you can check out. Right now we're doing Oxford Market, and we do various craft shows and sell the products, and then the proceeds from those, after the fee for the booth, all of them go back to the artists. So the artists actually get profit sharing. It's a wonderful opportunity, something that we can use a lot of help in, and we could use a lot of support in various areas for the Heartwise Workshop. And we'd like to see some other projects down the road too. Here's how you can help. You can become a monthly donor. We could really use your funds. It's just any amount really, $5, $10, $20 a month. It would be a huge impact in our ministry, something that we can count on as a faith-based organization. We really appreciate that support. We can also use your volunteer skills and time. We need people at the workshops, at the various events that we do. We need help with individuals as well as just carrying and moving things around, shopping, driving. We can use a lot of help. Sometimes it's just a small repair that we need help with, and if you're able to pop in, we would love to get your help there. We also could use your help in purchasing needed items for the homes, like whether it's cleaning supplies or paper products. These are all things that we can use, and they're on our registries. We have a registry with Amazon, and we also have one with Walmart, and both of them have quite a few items listed there that would be such a blessing to us, not only to the individuals, but also to us as volunteers, because that's that much less time that we would have to spend going around and picking up the items and delivering them. So thank you very much for your support and for listening. In doing ministry with individuals with disabilities and special needs, and doing compassion ministry, I do know that there is quite a bit of grant money available for that kind of work. And I've been asked that question. It's like, well, why don't you just get some grants? And we have been blessed to have a couple of grants, but I want you to understand that as a faith-based ministry, that's something that we have to make a decision whether we're going to let that go and set that aside when it comes to applying for a grant, because many grants won't accept you if you are faith-based. So that's just something to consider. And if you know of any grants that are out there that we haven't tried to apply for yet, I would love it if you would just let me know, and I'd be happy to fill out an application.